Good evening and welcome to Newsline News. I'm Bethel Manasseh.
And I'm Shalakini. Thank you for joining us. Before we get into the details, here are the stories making today's headlines.
Violence erupts during the Linda Mwananchi rallies in Kisumu and Nyahururu, leaving one person dead as police launch investigations.
Police in Bomet County investigate the deaths of 2 children in a suspected arson incident.
The High Court suspends a 1.5 million IBC penalty imposed on Kipiriri MP Wanjiku Muhia.
Amakweni family finally buries their teenage daughter after a 9-month delay.
7 insurance companies face penalties after missing the deadline for submitting quarterly returns. And here are the news. Violence erupted during the Linda Mwananchi rallies in Kisumu and Nyahururu on Sunday, leaving 1 person dead, several others injured, and motorcycles set ablaze. Police have denied reports that officers opened fire during the incident and have condemned the violence, saying investigations are ongoing. Here is Effie Akinyi with more.
The full facts surrounding these incidents must be independently established through prompt, impartial and transparent investigations. However, what is already evident is that political intolerance is steadily replacing democratic engagement, and also that violence is specifically unleashed and targeted at the opposition leaders. The Constitution of Kenya guarantees every citizen the right to assemble peacefully, associate freely, move without intimidation, and participate in political life. These rights belong equally to those in government and those in opposition. No Kenyan should fear attending a church service, a political meeting, or any lawful public gathering.
Violence erupted on Sunday during Linda Mwananchi gatherings in Kisumu and Nyahururu, leaving 1 person dead, several others injured, motorcycles burned, and 14 suspects arrested. Leaders have accused state-sponsored goons for disrupting church services and political rallies, while the police have denied reports of shooting and condemned the violence. Despite the clashes, the movement says it will continue its push for political accountability ahead of the 2027 general elections. Reporting for Newsline TV, I'm Effie Akinyi.
Police in Bomet County are investigating a tragic incident after 2 children aged 3 and 6 died in a house fire in Sosik village, Sotik. Authorities allege that the children's 40-year-old mother locked them inside the house before setting it on fire. Investigations are ongoing.
Police in Bomet are investigating the tragic incident in which 2 young children were reportedly killed in a fire that was allegedly caused by their own mother. The suspect has been arrested and is in police custody.
2 children aged 3 and 6 have died in a fire at Sosik village in Sotik, Bomet County, in an incident that has shocked residents. According to police, the children's mother allegedly locked them inside their house before setting it ablaze. Despite efforts by neighbors, the children were unable to escape and died in the inferno. The woman was arrested shortly after the incident and is currently in police custody as investigations continue to establish the circumstances and motive behind the alleged act.
Nilipata habari ya kwamba kuna changa la moto lilitokea jana jioni, ndipoza maisha ya watoto wawili waliweza kupotezwa kufuatia na mkaza huo wa moto. Ripoti ya mwanzo inaonyesha ya kwamba watoto hao waliweza kuchomeka, na tumearifiwa ya kwamba mama yao kwa wakati mwingi amekumbwa na shida ya akili punguani. tumewachia polisi nafasi waweze kumaliza uchunguzi wao, ndio watuelezee kiini haswa kilichofanya hiyo moto kutoka.
Authorities say the bodies of the two children have been moved to a local mortuary where postmortem examinations are expected to be conducted. Police have appealed to members of the public to remain calm and allow investigations to complete their inquiries. The suspect is expected to be arraigned in court once investigations are complete. Police say they will provide further updates as the case progresses. Reporting for Newsline Media, my name is Faith Award.
The High Court has temporarily suspended a decision by the IEBC requiring Kipiriri MP Wanjiku Muhia to pay a 1.5 million shilling fine for breaching the Electoral Code of Conduct. The interim orders means of the fine cannot be enforced until the case is heard and determined.
The High Court has temporarily stopped the implementation of an IEBC decision that was to fine the MP of Kipiriri 1.5 million shillings. This was because she allegedly violated the Code of Electoral Conduct. She went to court to challenge that decision, saying that any decision should not be made before her case is heard. The High Court has temporarily stopped the implementation of an IEBC decision that fined Kipipiri MP Wanjiku Muhia 1.5 million shillings for allegedly violating the Electoral Code of Conduct. The Electoral Commission's Code of Conduct Enforcement Committee found that remarks made by MP during the Olkarau parliamentary by-election campaign breached the Code of Conduct.
Having considered the overwhelming evidence on record, this committee finds that the respondent, the Honorable Wanjiku Muhia, is in gross breach of paragraph 6A of the Electoral Code of Conduct.
They had to issue a public apology. However, Wanjiku Muhia challenged the decision in court, arguing that the penalty was unfair and should not be enforced before her case is heard. The matter will return to court for further directions, where judges will determine whether the IEBC acted within the law in imposing the penalty.
E. Condemns and directs the Honorable Wanjiku Muhia to pay a fine of Kenya shillings 1,500,000 shillings to the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission within 72 hours of reading of this judgment. Failure to comply with the orders issued herein or any subsequent violation of the Electoral Code of Conduct shall attract further sanctions as are provided for under the Elections Act and the Electoral Code of Conduct, including but not limited to issuing an order barring her from contesting in any further election conducted by the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission in accordance with the applicable law. Let this decision serve as a stern and yielding warning to all political actors across Kenya that if you choose the path of incitement, the law will remove you from the ballot long before the voters do. Any conduct that departs from these principles will not be acceptable.
Reporting for Newsline Media, I am Nancy Wangari.
A family in Makueni County has finally laid their teenage daughter to rest, but the agonizing 9-month delay has left the community demanding answers. 15-year-old Mercy's death remains shrouded in mystery. Our reporter Farid Mohammed, reporting from Matulani, Makueni County, has the details.
A family in Matulani, Makueni County is preparing to bury their 16-year-old daughter 9 months after she was found dead, with investigators yet to make any arrests, leaving the community in search for answers.
It was a farewell delayed by nearly 300 days of bureaucratic hurdles, agonizing postmortems and endless police statements. Today, the quiet village of Makueni has finally said goodbye to their 16-year-old daughter. Her life was cut tragically short 9 months ago under circumstances that remain deeply contested. For her family, the physical act of burial brings a painful kind of closure, but their minds are far from peace.
Sehemu aende akanunue mboga ambao haiko mbali sana, iko kama half a kilometer.
Mwili pathologist mwenyewe alituambia haina mapafu, haina lungs, haina kidney na haina heart na mahindi.
Hizo miezi zote kama familia na kama mama mzazi ya mtoto nilikuwa nakaa nikiwa tu nimechanganyikiwa. Na huyo ni mtu alikaa chini akakatiza maisha ya mtoto wangu. Kama mzazi nikiona hapa juu watoto wanapita wenye walikuwa wanasoma na yeye, huwa niko na moyo mgumu sana.
Kabisa ifuatilie ionyeshe kitu gani ilifanya hii kutokea namna hiyo, kwa sababu this is a very great loss.
The details surrounding her tragic death have been shrouded in delay. Initial investigations stalled, leaving the family suspended in a state of limbo, unable to bury their daughter due to ongoing forensic disputes and a slow-moving justice system.
Reporting from Newsline, my name is Farid Mohammed.
7 insurance companies are starting at hefty penalties from the Insurance Regulatory Authority after failing to submit their quarterly returns within the required deadline.
7 insurance firms are in the regulatory crosshairs after failing to submit their March 2026 quarterly returns to the Insurance Regulatory Authority.
The defaulting firms include Definite Assurance Company, Kenyan Alliance Insurance, both general and life, Monarch Insurance, general and life, Star Discover Micro Insurance, and Birdview Micro Insurance. Under the Insurance Act, insurers must file quarterly financial statements within 30 days after each quarter ends. Non-compliance attracts an initial penalty of 200,000 shillings plus an additional 10,000 shillings for each day the breach continues.
In recent years, the regulator has intensified enforcement, with fines climbing up to 80 million shillings in 2024. Ahmedin Masharia, reporting for Newsline Media.
That is all for the main news. Up next, it's the sports, and for now we go for a short commercial break.
Thank you, Bethel and Michelle, and good evening. Here are today's top sports stories. We begin with local football, where FKF Premier League clubs are stepping up preparation for the new season. Several sides have strengthened their squads during the transfer window, and coaches remain optimistic about a strong start. Kenya Junior Starlets are celebrating another FIFA Under-17 Women World Cup qualification, highlighting the growth of women's football. Emmanuel Wanyonyi continues to impress with record-breaking performances, while Faith Kipyegon is focused on her comeback after injury. The 2026 FIFA World Cup has reached its final stages, with fans eagerly awaiting the final after thrilling semi-finals. And that wraps up today's sports update. I'm Julius Gitau, back to you.
Thank you, Julius, for the sports update.
That brings us to the end of today's news bulletin.
Thank you all for watching. Have a blessed evening.